Two, one, and rolling. Take one. Take two.
Yes.
Hey, I'm glad that we're able to do this video. Lucinda, good friend of ours, and in Francis' class on Monday, had asked me to share a little bit about the story of how our father became a Christian. And my brother Francis and I have been active in church ministry for a little while now, and I gave that story to Lucinda about my father being converted, and she thought it was very interesting. And I talked with Francis a little bit about the story, and we kind of both have a little bit of different take. I mean, I think it's a lot of similar elements, but we didn't find out about this until pretty much long after our father had passed away. Our father died when we were really young. I was a freshman in high school, and Francis was in 7th grade. But we learned that our father actually went through quite an ordeal and had some real difficulties within his family because of wanting to be a Christian. And I think it's amazing that it's through that process that we're here now and we're believers. And I don't think that we would have had that opportunity if it hadn't been for our dad really taking a chance and stepping out on faith. And so maybe you can tell the story.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because like we don't know that much about our dad, and so we find out more stuff from his friends later on in life, after he's passed away. And a few years ago, I think it was at that retreat, this guy who's a pastor now told us about when my dad came to the Lord and how he was playing in a basketball league with my dad. He and some Christian friends had invited my dad to play basketball with them.
And this is one of, I think, our dad's best friend at that time, too.
Yeah, and he loved basketball,
Yeah.
and he had the nickname of Hakwai.
Yeah.
Which means black guy.
Player.
Yeah.
Which is actually high praise.
Yeah, on the basketball court for sure. But he was also the darkest kid.
Yeah.
So that's why I tan so well. But they invited him to play basketball. They ended up leading him to the Lord, but they said they were scared of him. That the people back then were scared of them because when he was a kid, people used to come from all over to talk to their dead ancestors through my dad when he was a little kid. Like they would come and he would fall on the ground as he would channel the dead and tell them what their dead relatives were saying to them. And so these guys that led my dad to the Lord finally asked him one day, like, well, hey, what was that like? Okay, you're kind of known for this, but tell us, what is it like to channel the dead? And my dad says, oh, I made it all up. It was all fake. They were doing it to make money. And
I heard that our grandfather
Yeah.
had this little business-like thing. They were actually making money in the temple where he would kind of use my father as kind of a prop, and he would do this thing, and then my grandfather had control of him and was able to cause him to do this, and this is how they earned a lot of money at one time.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just thought it was pretty funny that that's where our dad was and what he was involved in. And then these missionaries come over, and I don't know if it was a missionary basketball league or these guys were somehow involved with that mission. And so as they were motivated to evangelize, they just thought, oh, this is a way to get to him, get to this guy, is by playing ball with him.
Yeah, and I think there were Southern Baptist missionaries, and actually, just kind of on an aside, sometimes people ask me, because I'm still affiliated with Southern Baptist churches, and they say, why do you go to that church? And I'm a Christian that goes to a Southern Baptist church, but there's some tainted stuff about every denomination, and I know that there's maybe things that people didn't agree about in the past. It's definitely their stance on slavery and some other issues, but I remember that my father was converted by Southern Baptist missionaries who took a chance to go to Macau, China, that didn't know the language, that went there and got the youth involved. And my father left work in the temple with my grandfather because of these missionaries. And to some degree, I think he wasn't very well accepted by his family during that time. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't imagine he would be. But it's kind of weird to look back at it now. You wonder, obviously the Lord had his plan. He was going to do what he was going to do. But you look back and go, gosh, things probably would have been a lot different. Obviously, if none of that happened. And my dad and I didn't have a great relationship. We didn't have much of a relationship, but I do remember his, from what I could tell, his seriousness about God, and even from what my stepmom says, that his dying wish was just make sure the kids keep believing in Jesus. And I think, wow, that's kind of the last thing that he said, and the last thing that was on his mind. Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Really?
That's what Mom said.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless she made that up.
No, maybe she was doing some temple stuff.
No, that Mom, Josephine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not her other mom, she was already dead.
Okay.
What would it be? Okay.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, I remember because I wasn't there when he died.
Right.
I was roller skating.
Were you?
I was. I got up from a skating rink. Everyone was at our house and didn't know what really happened. And because I was on the honor roll, it was honor roll skating day. I still remember.
Oh, really? You're on the honor roll?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Grace and me and Gloria all made honor roll.
I never made honor roll.
But I remember just coming home and, obviously the shock of it, but because we weren't there, I don't think
he made honor roll?
Yeah.
Oh.
But he was he didn't want us in the hospital towards the end.
Right.
I think he probably just didn't want us to remember him that way.
Yeah.
And so I just remember our stepmom saying, that was the last thing that he said. I thought, wow, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
so now
interesting.
you know, and now all you guys find out at the same time my brother does.
Yeah, I don't even know what to think, but that's pretty cool.
And plus he left a will where all the money went to me, and I've never really told you guys that.
That's amazing. I know you never had a relationship. Dad loved me because I was the older son, number one son, and
Yeah.
that I knew how to use the tools.
It's because he taught you. He never taught me. So now I'm not a real mechanic, and so I just have you fix everything.
But you went into ministry, which is a good backup plan.
Yeah, it's good. You can't fix anything. Try to fix people.
Yeah, good. Touche.
All right.
Well, that's the story. I'm not sure if Lucinda, did you want me to share anything else? But that's why I'm a Christian. I think the influence of our father early in our life, it wasn't a very emotional man. He wasn't a very outwardly loving man. Mm-hmm. But he, deep inside, I think, like you're saying, when it came down to God, he got serious.
Yeah, and I don't remember a whole lot he taught about God, and I don't even mention a lot that he was so serious about God, because I feel like my relationship with God was something that was definitely a choice that I made later on in life. But I always look back and I go, there had to be something to his faith and his prayers that both of us would be in ministry today. Because even though he never really shared with us personally or whatever, I just his dying wish shows me, he was serious about that. And I go, man, he must have really prayed. Because it's kind of weird.
That's good.
That we're both in ministry, especially you.
Yeah, really, because I didn't make the honor roll. But it's also interesting is that he never even spoke in English, and so that we minister now, and that people say sometimes we maybe speak in a similar fashion. I never got an influence from my father. I know that he preached in Chinese, but I never understood it. He used words that are beyond my second grade Chinese vocabulary.
Well, I understood it. Being on the honor roll, it's a little easier to pick up on languages.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. It helps. All right.
I never did make honor roll.
I always made honor roll.
I thought you were dumb.
No, you were the only one that did it.
Oh, man.
I wasn't a straight A student like Grace or Gloria.